Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. It's the weekly Sharp versus Swinger handicapping contest here at the forum, and right now Swinger and I are talking totals for week number 2. We've already given you a total of 4 spread picks between the two of us because we are on the same side of one of those, so 5 total for the two of us as well. But right now we have a couple of our best bets for the total action here in week number 1. Swinger, I'm going to start it off here because we closed our last video talking about the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers right now here in week number 2. Lowest total of the week at 39 points. However, we did talk about how Carolina was only able to get 2 touchdowns on a bad Jacksonville defense, but I think they actually might be able to do that or better here against Houston, because I'm not quite sold as you are on the Houston Texans defense right now. They didn't look great in week number 1, and they didn't really look great that at all. They were, let's just say, they were pretty inconsistent in the preseason. On the flip side here, you have Ryan Mallett starting for the Texans, which should improve that offense a lot here, especially playing against the Carolina Panthers team that I think is good on defense, but not as great as some people suggest. And even at home here with Carolina at home, I think that improves their offense as well. And I think the defense's numbers here maybe just a little bit inflated from that week 1 game against Jacksonville, a team that, as we know, doesn't have a great offense either. So I think Carolina's defense may be getting a little bit more credit than a lot of people give them. A lot of people should be giving them, as well as the Texans here. And with I think a big factor in this one is Luke Kuechly looks doubtful. He's the captain of that Panthers defense. So I think the Houston Texans maybe have the ability to get up to 21, 24 points in this one. If that's the case, I think we could see the over in this one be a pretty good play on the very low total here for week number 2. What do you think of that one?
Well, this total is a pass for me, but I think you make an outstanding point when you talk about Luke Kuechly, not the kid from BC, not being in. I mean, that kid is a beast, and he is a game changer, and his absence could actually be the determining factor in this game going over. But for me, this total is a pass.
All right, well, so you have your best bet here for week number 2. What do you got for us?
Well, I wish I had your total, because my total's 55, and that's in the Cowboys-Philadelphia game, man. I'll tell you, I think Tony Romo is going to be able to order coffee and read a book while he decides which target to hit, because that is an immovable offensive line, and I don't really see how the Eagles pass rush is going to give him any cause for pause. I think granted, he doesn't have Dez Bryant at his disposal, but you know what? I think he's got plenty of tools in the toolbox to work with, and I think that this is just going to be him picking apart and moving up and down the field. And we all know about Chip Kelly's high octane offense, because I don't think the Dallas defense is anything to crow about. I think these two teams are going to be trading points. As a matter of fact, as far as the side is concerned, I certainly would grab the 5.5 points that the Cowboys are getting. But I like the total even more. Unfortunately, it is super high. It is 55, and that stems my enthusiasm just a bit. But my total for the week is over 55 in the Cowboys-Philly game.
You can't go wrong with this one, I don't think. I mean, people make a big deal about Tony Romo now having to do it without Dez Bryant, and of course DeMarco Murray left in free agency. So now he really has, other than a way past his prime Jason Witten, Tony Romo doesn't have a whole lot. But what people don't realize is, like you mentioned, he's got a great offensive line. So all his guys got to do is run good routes, and Tony Romo's going to find them. And because Tony Romo's an elite quarterback, and you can say what you want about Tony Romo, but that's true. So if the Dallas defense, I don't think they're going to show up either. So, I don't necessarily disagree with you on this one here, because that Eagles offense, man, they are no joke. The only problem I think I could see with it is that I think the Eagles just really want to utilize those backs and run the football as much as possible. I think they might think they could have some success against Dallas running the football. So a lot less plays potentially here for Cowboys offense maybe that you're so high on. That's the only thing I could see that scares me, other than the fact that it's a 55-point total. But that'll do it for no, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. One thing I want to say is I want to give you credit, because you are a brave man. You are one of the few to actually come out and say Tony Romo is an elite quarterback. And you, my friend, are 100% correct.
It's absolutely true. I'm glad you agree with me, because there's just it's too long. The guy's been getting too much crap for what he's done as a quarterback here in the NFL. And I don't throw around that term too much, but really, if you count the top 5-6 quarterbacks in the league, he's, especially the way we've seen kind of Peyton Manning at least digress just a little bit, played a little better on Thursday night, obviously, but we've seen some of these guys digress a little bit from their elite status. Tony Romo has not digressed at all. I think he's easy 300 yards a game, and just does wonders with an offense that he doesn't have a whole lot of help in. But that'll do it for us, guys. This time, make sure you check out some of our other plays that we'll have coming up on the forum, obviously later this weekend, including some of my prop betting picks. But for Swinging Johnson, I'm Jordan Sharp. Thanks for joining us this week.